a wonderful group of people who just love the Lord and love young people. And this group is securing the next generation for Jesus. One of the things that have burdened our hearts, and we believe is a burden for a lot of parents today, and even for the young people themselves, is the fact that we see such an attack by the enemy on our young people. We see today where there's a dearth that has eaten at the souls of young people, so that they're so disconnected from themselves, they're disconnected from their families, and they're disconnected from God. And so we put together a program that we believe will bring children back to that place that God had proposed for every child. So we've put together this program where we believe God will be able to reach our young people and bring them back to that place that God has purposed for each of them. When you look at the world today and you see the huge mess that is taking place amongst our youth, we see our young children being influenced by the crazy culture that operates in our times. Culture that has been defined by the music, by fashion, by drugs, by peer pressure, negative peer pressure. We see so many of these things taking place, and it's a huge burden. If we don't go after our young people now and draw them back to the Lord, then this generation is gone. This generation is absolutely gone. But thank God, because God is so merciful, He's so good. He has a plan, and His plan is to ensure that His word is constantly coming out through different platforms and through different mediums. And so this platform, Securing the Next Generation, has been put together for our young people today. We want them to come back to that place where the only thing they care about is pleasing the Lord. The only thing they are after is living their lives in such a way that their Lord and Master Jesus Christ will be pleased. We want to prepare our young people for the coming of the Lord, which we know is very soon. The signs are all around us. We see the wars, we see the earthquakes, we see the pestilence, we see all the wickedness that is taking place in our world today. I think it is very safe to say that this world is coming to an end soon, and Jesus is coming back. So why don't you be a part of this program, Securing the Next Generation for Jesus? Mothers, fathers, where are you in your relationship with your children? Can you answer for a certainty that if your children, if any of them, if anything happened, if Jesus came back today, can you answer for a certainty that they will be with the Lord? Think about it. It's a very deep question. Do you know where your children are? Do you know what your children are up to? Do you realize that many of our children today are so disconnected from their parents? Many of them have lives, or live lives really, that are very different from what we as parents see. Are you in touch with your child today? Have you raised your child in such a way that you can beat your chest and say, my child loves the Lord. My child is passionate for Jesus. One of the saddest things that we as parents can do, and we see prevalent in our times today, is many parents are after the things of this world. And so Jesus has been put in the back burner. We need to draw our children back to Jesus. We need to be the lights in our homes that our children will see and say, my mom, my dad, they look like Jesus. I want to have what they have. And so I ask you again, where are you in your relationship with your child? Where is your child in their relationship with you? And most of all, with Jesus? Can you answer that? Don't you see the pain that many of our children mask? Do you see it? Do you see how our children have been so influenced by music, by the fashion? Many of them are going after the wrong role models. Are you a role model to your child? Are they chasing after the football players and the music stars, the celebrities of our times? Or are they chasing after pleasing Jesus? Parents, moms, dads, it's crucial that we begin to play the roles that God proposed for us to do, which is to raise up our children after the Lord. Just the same way the Lord boasted of Abraham and said, I know that Abraham will raise his children after me. He will raise his children to fear me, to love me. We need to make sure that we're doing the same thing with our children. Too many of us are chasing after money and chasing after positions and chasing after everything else, and we don't know what's going on in our homes. Do we know the child out? A lot of our children are accessing pornography on the phones that you bought for them. A lot are accessing pornography on the iPads and the different tablets that we buy for them. A lot of our young people are engaging in sex well before their time because their friends are doing it, because they feel it's cool to do that. Have you talked with your child to find out what they're up to? We have an enemy who hates everything that God stands for. And he is working so intensely to destroy the lives of our children. Please, parents, talk to your children today. Draw them to Jesus. Do everything in your power to ensure that your children are exposed to those things that will cause them to fall in love with the Lord and be passionate about pleasing the Lord. When we do that, then we can beat our chests and say with all confidence that on that day when our Lord returns, I know that none of our children, none of us will be found wanting. In Jesus' name, God bless you. Speaking to the parents, and we're challenging them. I mean, just like he said, a parent is sitting down, you're watching rubbish on the television, your child is there, and you don't even think about it. You don't know what your children are watching. You've left them to nannies to raise them. The horror stories I've heard, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So, there's work to do. There's a lot of work to do, honestly. And I pray God just gives us the strength to really spread ourselves and collaborate like this, work together to just do what we can do for the Master's kingdom before the Lord returns. A young boy who I used to mentor, he's probably like 119. So they had their graduation party. He came to me and said, Auntie, he said a lot of his classmates are smoking weed, drinking alcohol. Then they left them at their graduation party and there were no parents chaperoning. Parents will leave their children, they are dressed like women who are in their 40s. And then those girls are just left and they are not taught that, look, you have to keep yourself in a certain way, because a young boy, his mind is already thinking all sort of things. Those conversations don't even take place. So the young girl thinks, oh, I can wear my skimpy outfit and be best friends with this boy and nothing is going to happen. Why will nothing happen? And so you find many of these young people and they don't talk. This generation, they are so secretive. Oh my word, they are so secretive. They know how to talk to themselves, but to talk to their parents, different ballgame altogether. So you will find many of them who have been raped or they're already having relationships at young ages. And I'm talking about from as young as 12 years old. Yes. My daughter we gave her our iPad She was searching for toys on Jumeirah's site. Toys, oh. Do you know the next thing we saw were sex toys? My husband was so startled. I'm not joking. Under toys. I was like, why would they put this sort of thing? I've never seen such before on a what do you call it? On a, you know, proper, unless you really put that input into the search. How can I put toys? And then that will be part of the listing. So imagine a child, thank God she's 8 years. I don't even know if she saw up to that, because it was just like on a, you know how you have like a long list of pictures. But you know, I just thought, what if this was my teenage son? A lot of times they all have access to the internet and they're all doing their searches, checking for this, checking for that. Now, you're not even asking, you're not looking for, the thing just comes up in your face. My classmates are in their 40s. I look at their DPs, their BBM DPs, standing like this, wearing this, and I'm like, this is somebody's mother, for crying out loud. If you are still so consumed with your looks, and you know, people are telling you, you look beautiful, you look this, oh Lord, how will your daughter, what will your daughter be feeling like? What kind of insecurities and whatnot are you already festering inside of your child? I realize something that, you know, God sees the depths of our hearts. And so for every young child that truly in their heart wants God, God will, you know, because you can model cuddle, you can bring all the Bible, bring all the resources. If that child has not had that personal encounter, there's nothing that you're going to do. That's the truth. If the parents themselves, you know, one of the prayers we started praying was that God, let all of us have burning bush experiences, divine encounters that will cause even the parents, you know, we can talk all the talk, if the parents don't see Jesus, it's hard. Even our young people, they must see Jesus once they catch a glimpse. By the time I had all that, I said, God, I'm coming back, because truly my experiences from school, when we were in school, we were laying hands on the sick, we were doing deliverance sessions, so it was not a big, the people were falling down under the power. I saw these things, and because I'd experienced it, it would have been difficult for anybody to come and tell me Jesus is not real, this one is that, you know, it was hard. So even I myself, I knew the hand of God was here. God was just shielding me and blocking me. So I can sit and I tell people, when I speak to young people, I say, you know, my first boyfriend was my husband. And he's the person that I married. So there was no, after a while, God, it was like God just freed me from that undue pressure and wahala of, you know what I mean? I searched for it and God lets me. So I think one of our big challenges is just, if we encounter God, if our children, if the people around us, if we carry the supernatural with us, you know, people will see it and want it, and they can't stay the same. Because many times, you know, we can say, okay, do like this, don't do like this, come like this, be like this, dress like. You won't need to talk too much. When the anointing comes, nobody needs to teach you anything. You will be free. You will just know, I must serve Him. God bless you.